Hello friends and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm sharing a super easy and delicious tiramisu recipe served in a cup with no raw eggs. We will be using only the yolks and I will show you how to prepare them safely for this recipe. It's such a beautiful dessert and really convenient to serve in individual cups. I'm making everything from scratch today, even the ladyfingers. But if you're short on time, feel free to skip that step and buy some from the grocery store. Alright, let's get started. Okay, now we will make our ladyfingers or Savoiardi to fit the cup shape. I'm going to make them round for this recipe. First, we will need 2 eggs. Carefully separate the yolks from the whites and set the yolks aside for later. Add a pinch of salt and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of lemon juice to the egg whites. Then whip them until they are foamy. Gradually add 25 grams of sugar, continuing to beat until stiff peaks form. You will know they are ready when you flip the bowl upside down and the egg whites stay in place. It's important to beat the whites well to get the right texture. After that, take the bowl with the yolks and add remaining 25 grams of sugar. Beat them until they are fluffy and pale. You will want to see the mixture become light and airy, almost like a soft cream. Now it's time to gently fold the egg whites into the yolks. Start by adding half of the whipped egg whites to the yolk mixture. Sift 50 grams of flour and very gently fold it in, using a motion like this. The key here is to be careful and gentle so that you don't deflate the egg whites. Next, add the rest of the whipped egg whites to the mixture. Again, fold them in gently, making sure everything is well combined without losing the airiness. Be careful not to overmix. Your goal is to keep the batter light and fluffy, so it holds that nice and airy texture. Now we need to pipe the butter onto the prepared parchment paper. I'm using a silicone mat that already has round shapes, but if you don't have one of these, don't worry. Just take a round object of the size you want to use, wet it and gently press it into the parchment paper. This will leave an imprint so you can easily follow the shape when piping the butter. Carefully transfer the butter into a pastry bag. Then use a scraper to help push the butter down into the bag. This will help it easier to pipe and ensure you don't have any air pockets. Once it's in the bag, pipe the butter into the prepared parchment paper or silicone mat, following the shape marks as the guide. Don't worry if it's not perfect or if the butter seems a little too liquid. Once they are baked, we can trim them to the perfect round shape. Once everything is ready, lightly dust the piped butter with powdered sugar. This will help them develop a nice golden color while baking. Now place them in the preheated oven at 340 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes or until they are golden brown and firm to the touch. Once they are done baking, remove them from the oven and trim them right away to your desired round shape. Then, using a spatula, carefully remove them from the parchment paper or silicone mat and place them on a wire rack to cool completely. Now your Savoiardi for the tiramisu are ready, and while they are cooling, let's move on to the next step. Now let's prepare the coffee mixture for soaking the ladyfingers. I'm making strong espresso using 1 scoop of medium roast coffee beans, which I grind myself. You can adjust the strength based on how strong you want your soaking liquid. Then I brew the coffee in an AeroPress for a deep rich flavor. Pour the coffee into a bowl and add a little cold water to dilute it. Total I have about 1/2 cup of coffee. Next, combine the espresso with a tablespoon of alcohol, rum of your choice or liquor, and add some citrus zest for an extra layer of flavor. Stir everything together and set it aside. Now let's prepare the cream for our tiramisu. Start by separating the 2 eggs. Today we will be using just the yolks. Add 75 grams of sugar to the yolks. Then place the bowl over a saucepan with simmering water, creating a double boiler. Use a mixer to whisk the yolks and sugar until they are light and fluffy. You will want to see a very pale color and a creamy texture. The yolk should feel warm to the touch and make sure there are no sugar grains remaining. Once the yolks are ready, remove the bowl from the heat and gently stir in 250 grams of mascarpone cheese. Mix it until smooth and fully combined. Be careful not to overwork the mixture as we want it to stay light and creamy. Now in a separate bowl whip 180 milliliters of heavy cream with 70 grams of sugar until stiff peaks form. Once the cream is ready, carefully fold it into the mascarpone mixture, making sure everything is well incorporated without deflating the whipped cream. Use your spatula to gently fold the tiramisu cream a couple of times, making sure everything is perfectly combined. Look at how smooth and airy it is, just beautiful. Now that your mascarpone cream is ready, let's move on to assemble the tiramisu. For added convenience, you can transfer the cream into a pastry bag, but that's completely optional. Now let's start layering. Take your serving cup and pour a little bit of cream at the bottom. Take one Savoiardi and soak it quickly on both sides, and place it at the bottom, pressing it down gently. Once your first layer is set, pipe or spoon a generous layer of mascarpone cream on top, spreading it evenly, and then sprinkle it with cacao. Repeat the process with another layer of soaked ladyfingers, followed by another layer of mascarpone cream and a dusting of cacao. For one serving, 2 layers are usually enough, but it's really up to you. I made 3 layers because I absolutely love tiramisu. For the final layer, cover it with cream and smooth it out with a spatula. If you're using a piping bag, you can finish it with a fun design by piping small drops. Finally, sprinkle the top with cacao and for an extra touch, add some berries if you like. Let it rest in the fridge overnight for the best flavor, but honestly, I couldn't wait even a second and ate it right away. And there you have it, your delicious creamy tiramisu in a cup. I hope you enjoy making this as much as I did. If you give it a try, let me know how it turns out in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more easy and delicious recipes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you the next time. Bye bye.